everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Vintage Unicorn Beauty Makeup and etc. Today is actually a double dip because I wanted to recreate for this hair, oh my gosh, this hair. I wanted to recreate a look that I saw in a Jeffree Star video. It wasn't a tutorial, he was just wearing his makeup that way and I was like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So I tried to recreate it and it's a little more metallic-y than his, but that video is linked down below. I hope you guys enjoy. Please remember to subscribe if you are not already. Hit that like button, let me know what you thought of this look. Did I kill it? Did I not? I did not do a wing. I'm feeling naked without a wing. I'll probably draw one on after this, but anyway, I will see you on this side of the video. Thank you guys so much. Mwah. So I went ahead and filled in my face as I normally would, except I changed up one thing. I am wearing on my lids right now, this is the Lock It Color Correcting Stick by Kat Von D. I ordered this so long ago and totally forgot that I had it. It was kind of hiding. And as you guys know, I've been like on the lookout for a new color correcting concealer, and I wasn't sure about this one because it is taking a little longer than just the City Color or Lemonade. Just swipe it over and it's done. But it has, I'm just guessing right now that I will not have to apply concealer because it really did brighten my eyes. So here I have my blood sugar palette. Now in the video, it looks like he probably has about 15 transition colors going on in his crease, but the really dramatic part is that crease in there. I don't know if it's a cut crease. I might cut the crease. I'm just gonna keep referring to the picture, but it's definitely a mixture between the color Sweetener as its most prominent, Sweetener, which is this gold right here, and then a little bit of an orange. So I'm thinking Prick, Sweetener, and then I'll build in some transition shades, probably using Tongue Pop and Cherry Soda just to balance. And I actually want to do an all over coat on my eyes with the same brush that I used to apply the color correcting primer, and I'm going to use the color O Positive because it's a little darker than my natural skin tone, and I just want to apply that very gently, buffing it in this area. So this brush is a true favorite, especially for, you know, blending and applying numerous transition shades. It is by MSQ. The only thing is because it's kind of starting to get a little loose right there, but I don't know. I love it. I don't really know how to explain it. It's flat, it's also tapered, but it's also fluffy at the same time. So now I am gonna go in with that color Tongue Pop, which is this beautiful pink here, and I'm gonna pull the look together so that the pinkish orange starts to come through. I'm gonna switch to a different Morphe M506, and I am going to dip into the shade Prick and see what kind of color payoff I get with this brush. Prick is the one with little hypodermic needle. It is a super pigmented orangey kind of blush. Yes, that is definitely the color that I saw as the most prominent, or at least in the family of it, because we don't know if he was using his own blood sugar palette, do we? So I'm going to continue working this in, and if I need to blend it out at all, instead of adding more of this color, I'm going to continue blending out with that color Tongue Pop. I am also keeping in mind Jeffree Star has a completely different facial geometry than me, to where I can't really go in that far inward towards my nose, so I'm going to actually be focusing the drama out ever so slightly. He did not have any kind of blowout or wing really, it was just kind of a blend, so I need to avoid my instinct to kind of wing it out. I recently learned a really cool trick for cutting creases. So this is the Morphe G15. I love this silver series. Something about just the weight and the feel and the length, it's very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm pinching the bristles together ever so slightly so that they're really nice and sharp, and dipping into that NARS. I always call it something wrong. Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Chantilly. I love the smell of this, guys. I can't even describe it. I mean, it smells like a Chantilly cream for any of my Australian viewers or my cousins. So I am going to very gently cut just below my crease and then bring it up ever so slightly and cut it to about here. I have not cut my crease in a while, so this might be a disaster, but we will see. It's always something you can fix, because effectively you're just rebuilding a neutral eye and giving it something to stick to. And when I was first looking at his look, I was like, how did he get the gold to stick so nicely? Well, he likely set down something like a concealer or a glitter primer or something like that and cut into the crease so that gold really stood out. Now I'm just gonna blend this in. I haven't done a horrible job, which I'm quite happy about. So I'm just gonna blend this in and we're gonna go for the gold. While that concealer is still really tacky, I'm gonna try to start getting that gold built in there. Now I'm not gonna use the same side. That is the concealer side. I'm gonna use the other side because it has a slight bit of oil from the concealer. And I'm gonna dip into sweetener, which I think is the gold that was on his eye. And if it isn't, well then hell. I think it is the color. I just don't know how many passes he did. Because, I mean, it was stark. Super stark. So I am just going to continue patting this in and working that application, and if I need to, I will jump into Donor, which is another of the metallics in here, and see if I can get that really stark gold. Looking at the actual color, I thought it was Sweetener because of how light it was, but Donor has this yellow undertone, which is what I think I was seeing, so we'll do both. So looking at that, it is much more pink than the undertone in Jeffree's, and I'm thinking of a product that I know he likes from a brand I know he loves. I think he used the Trolls Loose Powder, but I have the Blood Sugar palette right here, so I'm gonna take Donor, which has more of a yellow undertone, and pop that right on top. And again, I'm just gonna continue packing it on there in the area where I cut the crease. And the oils on the shimmers are holding together really nicely. So I think if I keep adding and building, I will end up with that nice, really, really metallic inner corner. Because I'm not sure what product I'll use otherwise. I don't happen to have a loose translucent powder that is super metallic-y. It's not something I use all that often. The only thing I could think of would be Kat Von D's Alchemist palette, but that is not the color theme that I'm going for. This is definitely a red, gold, sunset-y, smoky cut crease kind of look, so this is actually working quite nicely. I'm just reapplying over and over. I will need to reblend this gradient, but that's okay. That way there'll be just a little bit of shimmer in the outer corner. All right, so I'm gonna try and match the other eye and clean this up, also bring it in under and into my tear duct just the slightest bit, and I'm gonna keep going. Turn my ring light up and brought it just a little bit closer so I can show this gilding that wasn't really coming across on camera, but in person, my goodness, is it poignant. So I need to just rebuild in a little bit of the colors that I lost. I'm gonna go in with that same Morphe 506 in the color Prick, and I'm just gonna blend that through this crease area to warm it up. His was a little bit more choppy, or like blocky, I want to say. I'm going to be linking his video down below so you guys can let me know what you think, so you can get a really multifaceted look at his look and tell me if I kind of was on the right track. It does definitely look like his color scheme. I think his eye shape is a little different than mine, so I'm working with the facial symmetry that I understand, utilizing something that looks amazing on Jeffree Star, and Jeffree Star can pull off stuff that no other human can. Can I get anyone who thinks that Jeffree Star is the Frankenfurter of the millennials? Like, my mom used to say she loved Frankenfurter's legs, and that was like the culture I grew up on, like, oh, Tim Curry's legs. Well, Jeffree Star, I wish I looked like Jeffree Star. He is just gorgeous, absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. And it's that same kind of like forlorn, you don't understand it, he's mysterious, he's different, he's himself no matter what. And there's something so unbelievably appealing about that. And I think that when we look at the, you know, artists that we really, really emulate towards, we can look at that and see, is that something I want to be in myself? So looking at my eye color, there's just something that's a little bit two-dimensional in the red, at least in this lighting. In the mirror, it looks pretty fantastic. I feel like I need to bring a little bit more red, or am I just searching for an excuse to use that blood sugar color? Maybe both. I can do both, right? So I'm just gonna grab a 3, 2, 1, and I am gonna dip into the blood sugar color and pop just the slightest little bit right in here in the round of my socket and bring it on through in kind of an inverted C shape. That way there's a little bit more red to play against the gold, and even though I saw mostly an orange eye on Jeffree, I think this will tie it together when I use Prick to blend it out. So I am gonna grab Prick on that very, very large fluffy brush, and that is going to be how I blend this all together. Which might be a little out there, but you know what? I imagine Jeffree Star does some pretty insane stuff to get his makeup looking how it is. And I can already see the color payoff is pretty impeccable right now. So I'm gonna continue blending this and perfecting this, and we're gonna get on to the second part of this video, which is my attempt at lip art and my secret recipe for a lip scrub. So I'm gonna clean this up, liner, lashes, all that kind of thing. You guys know my deal, and then we'll get going. I definitely think I missed the mark a little bit, just because looking back at Jeffree's, his was pure matte, orange, and then gold. So anyway, I think I was onto something, but anyway, for lashes, I threw on House of Lashes in Iconic, which is what I guessed he was wearing. The only thing is, whenever I wear House of Lashes, which I've only done a couple of times, I need to remember that I need to get like the minis, because these are so long and they're kind of stabbing me a little bit, but that's okay. I want to talk about lips now. We are going to take this from a Jeffree Star eye to a full crazy lip art moment. I have a formula that I kind of play with on how to get my lips really nice, especially because I have piercings. It's really important that I maintain my lip health, because it's very difficult to keep my lips nice and healthy while making sure that my lip rings are doing all right. And so what I do is I do a lip scrub, but instead of buying one, I actually have a recipe that I use, and it plumps my lips as well. So what I'll do is I'll take, let's say, a 1/4 cup of sugar to about 3 tablespoons of melted coconut oil and whip that up really quickly. The difference is, instead of adding some kind of sweetening agent, I add Vietnamese cinnamon. And by add, I mean a dash, but it does change the color of it. Rub that on my lips, and it both plumps my lips and exfoliates them really nicely. There's a little bit of a blend issue going on. That's all right. So I'm gonna move on to lips. I'm gonna blend that out first, and we are gonna get some crazy lip art attempts going on. So to begin this lip art experiment, I'm going to use my MAC Prep and Prime. This is a lip product. It is kind of like a balm, but it leaves a little bit more of a tackiness on the lips. Definitely super moisturizing and smells like coconuts. Definitely has a coconut oil implement in it. So I'm just gonna get that mostly on the inside of my lips. I don't want it too much on, you know, the edges of my lips, because I am going to be using a special pencil and I'm going to be blending. Now that I have fully covered my lips in that color, I just want to take that brush again and make sure that it is blended all the way from the outer lip line to the inner. Stroke of Genius Heavy Duty Kohl Green Light by Sugar, and I love it. It's a metallic kind of color, and I'm going to use that to overline again and blend inward. Now that I have this kind of cool green-blue gradient, I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit from the Gothographic collection in the shade, Pastel Grunge, and I am going to use a brush to get it off of the doe foot applicator and cover it off over my lips like a light lip topper. All right, so there we have it. The last thing I'm gonna do just to finish up, so I'm gonna add a little bit of a blush today. I'm gonna keep things pretty low on the highlight, even though it is a look from a Jeffree Star highlight tutorial. I like the look of kind of a non-highlighted skin, especially if I'm using a blush. I always feel like blush, highlighter, and contour is just a little bit too much, but because I'm going for this kind of Joker vibe, I want to get a nice kind of pinky peached cheek, almost excessive. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if I was on point, if I was too far off. I really think the issue was going with more red than orange, which is what he was wearing, and not maintaining that matte outside corner. So there you go. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and consider it. I would love to have you here. Hop on the art. We talk about makeup. We talk about all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's fun. Also below is my Instagram and my Poshmark closet, because I am cleaning up. So anyway, guys, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.